Hi there, I'm Amy from Cakes with Faces. Lots of people ask me how to dye your hair bright colours, so today I thought I'd do something a little bit different from my other videos and show you how I dye my hair. I'm going to be using purple and pink, so you can also see how to get the dip dye effect. Now, unless you have really light hair naturally, you're going to have to bleach it if you want the colour to come out really bright, because the lighter your hair to start with, the brighter the colour comes out. Now, bleaching is really bad for your hair, it really dries it out, so try not to do it too often. That's why I only bleach my hair about twice a year, and I let my roots grow really long, which you might not think is the best look, but I'd rather have that than hair that's like straw. The type of bleach that I use is from Jerome Russell. It's called B Blonde, and you get a sachet of powder bleach which you mix with a bottle of cream peroxide. You put it on your hair and it tells you how long to leave it for, then you wash it off. Or you could get it done properly at a salon if you prefer. Now, my hair is quite oily naturally, so it can take it, and if it dries out a little bit, it's not too bad. And I've been dyeing my hair for ages, so I know that it'll be all right. But if you've never bleached your hair before, maybe just do a strand test to check out that it's going to come out okay, or try a little bit on your skin, leave it for 24 hours, just to make sure you're not going to have a bad reaction to it. I'm not going to be bleaching my hair today, I'm just going to be doing the colour. So the first thing to do is to wash your hair, use shampoo, but don't use any conditioner. So I'm going to do that now. So get out my bathroom. You want to start while your hair is still wet, and it can be really tricky to comb out when you don't use conditioner. There's loads of knots. Next thing to do is to put Vaseline all the way around your hairline, on the front, around your ears, and around the back underneath as well. That's to protect your skin from the dye so you don't get a pink face. Put it down the side of your face as well, because it's surprisingly easy to get dye all over your face, and that's not a good look. Feels horrible. Get a really big carrier bag or a bin bag, cut it open, and we're going to wear it as a cloak. Extra stylish. Looking good. Also, remember to put newspaper down all over the floor to protect your carpet. I'll talk a bit more about the type of dye that I'm using later on, but today I'm going to do purple on the top and pink on the bottom. And this type of dye comes with some plastic gloves. But if the type that you buy doesn't, you can use rubber gloves. So here's the dye. You just want to put it onto your hair, a bit like you would shampoo or conditioner. Remember to try and get the dye on the underside of your hair as well, so you don't get any streaks that are left out. Now, to dye your hair two colours, put the first colour on the top section, then wash your hand, and you can start on the second dye on the bottom section. It helps to have an old towel to hand that you don't mind getting ruined. Start off a bit nearer the ends with the second colour, and then towards the end we'll do the bit where they meet and blend them together a little bit. And in the middle, just blend the two colours together. You don't need to blend it too much, it'll probably come out alright just on its own. Oops. All the dye's on, so now I'm going to tie my hair up to keep it out of the way. Now, the box says to leave the dye on for 15 minutes, but I found you get a better result if you leave it on for a whole hour. Now, if it's the type of dye that you haven't used before, always do a skin test first, just to make sure you're not going to have a bad reaction. You just put a bit of dye on your skin, leave it for 24 hours, and if it hurts at all, then maybe try a different dye instead. But if it's okay, you can go ahead and use the dye. As you can see, I've got pink and purple everywhere, and that's why you put the Vaseline on first, so it doesn't touch your skin. Maybe it's better not to dye your hair on a day that you're going out or doing something. Dye it the day before, just in case you get a pink face, or sometimes I've ended up with completely pink hands as well. The main brands of colourful hair dyes are Stargazer, Directions, Crazy Colours and Manic Panic. I usually use Directions or Stargazer because they're a bit easier to get hold of where I live. I bought these ones from the market, and you can also buy them from Blue Banana or online, and they normally cost between £3.50 and £5, so it really isn't expensive to dye your hair yourself at home. There's a really good website called Be Unique, which has a gallery where people send in pictures of their dyed hair, and it tells you which brand and which colour they've used, which is really useful when you're deciding which shade to get. And they also sell all the dyes on there as well. Today I'm using Stargazer Plume and Directions Cerise. Both of these are really good because they start off quite dark, then fade to a brighter colour, and they last for about 6 weeks before they start looking too faded. My other favourite dyes are Stargazer Magenta, which lasts for quite a long time, and Directions Pillarbox Red. In the summer I use Directions Buttercup Yellow on the top and Carnation Pink on the bottom for a sort of sunset effect, which I really liked. With Stargazer dyes, watch out when you get near the end of the bottle because it can splatter everywhere. I usually use scissors to cut the bottle in half when it gets near the end and use my fingers to scoop the dye out. If you do drop a bit of dye, just clean it up as soon as you can. I usually wait till I put all the dye on first, or you can end up making even more of a mess. Most colours last between 4 and 6 weeks, and the best way to stop it fading so quickly is to try and wash your hair a little bit less often and use dry shampoo when you can. If you're having a shower and not washing your hair, wear a shower cap, which really isn't stylish, but it stops you getting that faded stripe across the middle. Some people say you should wash your hair in cold water, but who wants to do that? And other people say you should put a little bit of dye in with your conditioner, but you'd have to wear gloves every time you wash your hair, so I don't really do that either. I do use shampoo and conditioner that's designed for coloured hair to keep it in good condition, and hopefully that stops it fading a little bit too. The first time you wash your hair after you've dyed it, some colours can stain the bath a little bit, so don't do it at someone else's house, but it does usually come off. It's been an hour, so now it's time to rinse off the dye. You're supposed to rinse until the water runs clear, but unless you're using quite a light colour, that probably won't happen. So rinse off most of the dye, and then I like to use some conditioner, which makes your hair a lot easier to brush afterwards. Right, next just wash off all the Vaseline that's around your hairline and hopefully all this dye that's gone on my face. It's almost gone. If you can't wash all the dye off, don't worry, it's not permanent, it won't be there forever. It'll come off in a couple of days. Next, brush out your hair. It'll probably be really tangly. Then you can use a hairdryer to dry it or let it dry naturally, whichever you prefer. Finished! If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. And if you like bright colours, check out my t-shirts, cushions and earrings, including these ones, on my website cakeswithfaces.co.uk. And my other videos are a bit different from this one, but I hope you like them. And thanks for watching. Bye bye.